Everybody, this is your guy Manny, and this is a Talking Sports with Manny channel. If you're new to the channel, please like, please subscribe, and please share. We're going to talk about the Washington Commanders' plan at pick 11. Like, what's going on? I'm pretty sure they have a plan, and I'm going to break down some of the news that I've gotten today. I'm going to get this thing on and popping after this intro. So, guys, I've been talking to a lot of people about this NFL draft, both people in the fantasy community, both people in the NFL community, just people in general who love sports and who love the NFL and the draft. What I'm gathering out of this draft, we've been hearing, oh, this draft is weak, this draft is a terrible draft. Not necessarily. This draft has a lot of good tackles, has a lot of good interior, both guys on the defensive line and offensive line. People are saying, well, this draft is not as good because you're losing Payne. There's a weak draft for defense. No, this draft is one of the deepest drafts in NFL history because of COVID. A lot of people stayed in school or stayed out. So this draft right here has a lot of prospects to choose from. And the GM for Washington has said that he wants to attack the middle of this draft. When you ask Ron Rivera and the GM, you ask them, hey, what do you guys plan on doing? Do you guys end up with the same 6 picks that you guys went into the draft with? Obviously, they said that teams have been calling, right? So you can move up, you can move down, but I don't see them moving up for any player in this draft. Also had a conversation with my guy Nick from P2W Fantasy. I told him, I said, look, this draft doesn't really necessarily have players that you want to trade up for. Okay, it's a weak draft in the aspect of the quarterbacks, right? But it's a super deep draft when you're talking about wide receiver. You have tons and tons of wide receivers who can be plugged in to several different systems and have success. You're going to see wide receivers in the first round have success in this draft. You're going to see some good ones in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and even to the 7th round. Even some undrafted guys. You're going to see some wide receivers going to several different teams come in and make an impact. I'm not saying that these guys have the potential to be the Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. Those things don't usually happen. Now, with Washington, potentially trying to re-sign Terry McLaurin, they've said if a deal does not get done before Thursday, it's not going to affect what they are trying to do. We all know that Washington is looking for a wide receiver. We know that they're also looking for a running back. They have interviewed a lot of the top-tier running backs in this draft. Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall for sure. And there are some other running backs that they have interviewed, but it's imperative that they draft a running back. So it seems like they're tired of going into this offseason or year to year with the same issues and not really addressing that running back position. Although Antonio Gibson is a good back, he's not a great back. You know what I'm saying? He's still learning how to play that running back position. So you can have an Antonio Gibson who does some of the third down work, some of the receiving work. He can run a little bit. Then you want to get a guy, let's say Kenneth Walker, or you get a guy like Breece Hall or whoever else that you grab in this draft. There's some good ones like Zamir White. There's tons and tons of different running backs that you can grab that can go get those tough yards. So, yes, you need a bruiser that can get the tough yards. But if Ron Rivera can find a 3-down back, he's going to grab one. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that Kenneth Walker fits perfectly with what we do. He's a running back that can do it all. He's going to be looking for pass protection. He's going to be looking for a guy that can get the tough yards and a guy that can protect the ball. And that's something that Antonio Gibson could not do last year. He fumbled one too many times. So they're looking for running back. That could be something that they do later on in the second, maybe in the 4th round. Or maybe they find a trade partner at 11, you trade back, and you acquire a third, and then grab a running back at that spot. So in the first round, if Kyle Hamilton is there at pick 11, that could be the pick. If Stingley Jr. or Sauce Gardner is available at 11, it gets interesting because I'm pretty sure that they love both guys. They love those two guys. They love Kyle Hamilton. We know that they love Chris Olave, and they also love Garrett Wilson, wide receivers from Ohio State. They also love Drake London a lot. So It all depends on how this draft goes. If they see a guy that they like at pick 11, they're gonna make that pick, whether the fans like it or not. Now, if they're able to trade back and still know that they can get a guy like Olave down the line or whoever else that's on their list down the line, then they might do that. So they're going to explore every single scenario and see which package or which move brings them the best value possible. Now, in the second round, if you don't go wide receiver in the first round, which I think they will, if let's say they go for Hamilton or somebody like that, and then in the second round, they can possibly go get a wide receiver. Maybe if Pickens is there, a Sky Moore, Jahan Dotson, one of those kind of guys, one of those second tier type guys that would fall to the second round. They might target one of those guys, and then with the next pick will be in the fourth round because they lost a third when they traded for Carson Wentz. Now with that third round, they can go tight end. There's tons and tons of tight ends that could fit what Washington does with that Air Coryell offense, but then also you have linebackers that could be available. Maybe Leo Chenal, Troy Anderson. So I don't know where some of these linebackers go because sometimes you expect these linebackers to go in the second round, third round, and sometimes they fall to the fourth. So I'm pretty sure a linebacker that they like, maybe Darian Beavers, somebody is going to be available in the fourth that maybe they go that route, maybe they go tight end. So they have lots of holes, and whatever that they don't fill in this draft, they're going to fill in free agency, and then even in the next draft. If we all know that Deron Payne is leaving, maybe they grab a defensive tackle with one of those 2 7th round picks that they have. So it's a lot of different scenarios, and I will not be shocked if they trade down from 11 to, let's say, if Kansas City offers you their 2 late first round picks for your pick 11. You would be stupid not to do it. You would do that, right? Grab a safety, maybe one of the premier safeties, and then you grab a wide receiver in that spot, or you grab whatever. I mean, you have so many different holes, right? Or maybe somebody falls, like a guard or a center. Lindenbaum, maybe he falls. Maybe, so tons and tons of scenarios. These mock drafts that you're seeing are not going to be what actually happens in real life. You're going to see teams reach for players. You're going to see teams possibly trade up into the first round just to draft a quarterback to have that fifth-year option as a weapon for them moving forward as they build their team. But in terms of quarterbacks, I don't see nothing happening for Washington, but we would love to see 1 or 2 quarterbacks go in the top 10. That way, some really, really good talent is driven down to 11, and then Washington makes an educated pick based off of their needs and who they feel could be a special player. If Garrett Wilson falls to Washington at 11, you almost got to take it. I love his upside. Think Stephon Diggs. Think Justin Jefferson. I'm not saying he's going to be those guys or be less than those guys. He could be better than those guys. But what I'm saying is he's that type of player. He's that kind of guy. You give him the ball, he just creates space and just, he can do it all. He can do it all. So that's all the time I have for you guys on this video. I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.